hustle. As soon as I get to work, I gotta hustle. Hey everybody, welcome back to my Project 13. It is the morning recap vlog where we talk about, well, almost everything that happened this last week. That is if I can remember everything. I've been fighting just a massive headache and stuffed up, sore throat, stomach not feeling good. Stomach's starting to feel a little better today, so I'll be able to eat a little bit more today. But regardless, got to go to work and do the hustle, right? And morning recap vlog. If this is your first time ever coming on and joining the team here for the morning recap, welcome. For the most part, I do a lot of morning vlogs where I just talk about whatever comes to my mind, or we sort of go back and rediscover conversations we had during the week or from the past. I mean, there's some of you that ask questions from videos way back, and that's awesome. I did have a viewer ask about the smartphone mount that I'm using that's attached to my windshield. I did a little video, a quick video during the Google event, and I actually show that in the video, so somebody caught view of that and asked, well, what mount is that that's attached to my windshield? And that's a Fantaseal suction smartphone mount, whatever. I mean, I have a video on it. You can go check out that video. You can get the information there. The link is there to purchase. It's under 10 smacks, $10 if you don't know what smacks is. And it's really worth looking into. Ever since I purchased it, man, it's one of my best accessories that I've brought in. And the company actually sent it to me for review. And it has not fallen from that windshield. It's just been suctioned there. And it just stays there, and I have no issues with it, and I'm able to rotate my whatever device that I'm using to shoot the morning vlog or afternoon vlog or whatever. It just stays there. So it's I would say, in my opinion, it's for under $10. Wow, it's worth looking into. Fantaseal. Okay, it's a suction mount that attaches to your windshield. So, look into that. Google event. Did you enjoy that? I wanted to just briefly talk about the Google Pixel 2, the XL, because that's the one that I would get if I went that route. That's actually not in my plans right now. Maybe down the road, because I have plans that I'm trying to reach for the team before the year ends, and I got to be wise with my finances with all of that. What are the positives that you've taken away from that event and the negatives? I know that right now there are some complaining already. And remember, we already knew that this device was going to be right around the price point that it is. We always hope that there's going to be a lower price point. I mean, that's always the hope, but that's not usually what happens. Okay, even right now, we're in a time where we already thought the prices were going to, that the competition out there is so stiff that we were going to see prices drop on these flagships, and yet it's gone the other way. Okay, it's gone the other way, and so for me, I already in my mind knew that the Google Pixel 2 XL, the one that I am looking at, was going to be right around where it's at. Whether it's worth that or not is another, you know, it's in the conversation, but that's a whole nother topic that we can really go a long time, you know, in talking about. But my thing is, when you're looking at a device like the LG V30 that just dropped at Verizon, and it will be dropping here really quick at T-Mobile, pre-orders are up, and what you're going to be getting with that device for $800, and you're looking at what you're missing on a device that I knew was going to be priced high anyway. And you know, for some, here's the complaints that I'm hearing, that there was no camera hump last year. Now you got a camera hump, okay? And there's no wireless charging because it's got the metal back, okay? And you got no headphone jack. Now, that's something that we're seeing a lot of companies do, okay? That's a whole nother conversation too. I don't want to spend a lot of time on that. So, no headphone jack. We got the camera bump that a lot of you don't like. And no wireless charging. And let's see. Oh, well, they minimized the bezels for the dual speakers, which is a huge positive, but they left these bezels on the side that aren't really minimized like what you're seeing on a lot of the devices that are coming out. Like on the Samsung Galaxy S8, S8 Plus, the Note 8, the LG G6 that you'll see on the LG V30. I mean, if you're going to really minimize and really go mostly all display, and I also see this on the iPhone 10. There's still some definite bezels going on there on the sides that sort of take away, instead of making the display come out to you, it seems like it's dropping in to the frame of the device with the bezels on the side, not so much on the top and bottom. They've minimized that on the iPhone 10 and the Google Pixel 2 XL. But when you have enough bezel to see there, it sort of makes the display visually and mentally, it just sort of, the trickery of it, it's like it's sunken in instead of coming out. So are these issues to you for a device that's priced at $849? And remember, we sort of knew that's where this was going, right? But when you look at the LG V20, you're going to have a headphone jack. You're going to have wireless charging. You're going to have waterproofing. You're going to have dual cameras with this wide angle lens. It's just going to be phenomenal, like on the LG V20, and probably better. You're going to have added features in the camera areas when taking pictures, shooting video. It's going to be a beautiful display. It's going to have that edge-to-edge display. The form factor of it is just, to me, is already a better looker than what we're seeing on the other two devices that we're talking about, especially the Google Pixel 2 XL, which was covered during the event. And you're going to see a lower price point for the 64 gig variant by $50. And it could drop within a few weeks like the LG G6 did, at T-Mobile especially. So what's your thoughts on all that? Again, knowing that this was the route they were going to go anyway, but when you're looking at your options, where is the full package? And maybe you don't get the dual speakers, but I'll tell you, the V20 is no slouch when it comes to sound. Okay? On the front, man, that would have been so sweet to have that on the front. So, I mean, you tell me. Outside of that, I did talk about ePart Solution, where I was able to get a back plate cover for my LG V20, a company you need to look into if you're looking for replacement parts for your smartphone. Also talked about, well, actually I showed you my new slick wraps to my Samsung Galaxy Note 8, and totally loving the My Project 13 slick wraps. Has my logo back there. It looks fresh. It looks sweet. A lot of you liked it as well. Let's see. What else did we talk about? That I think I'm going to go through here. I'm going to make sure I remember what I talked about as I'm pulling in to do the hustle here at work. What are you doing right now? How are you doing? Are you having breakfast? Are you having lunch, dinner? What's going on? What device are you using? Did you pick up the LG V30? If you did, share that with me, please. Are you still considering the iPhone 8, 8 Plus? Are you waiting for that iPhone 10X? man, I can't wait. I don't think I'm going to put in the pre-orders for the V30. I'm just going to wait for it to come out at the store and then go in and purchase it. I got 2 or 3 T-Mobile stores here in town that I go in and talk to the reps that I know personally now, and so they're pretty much giving me the message that they're going to get enough units in to start off on the 13th. So I think I'm just going to wait instead of doing the, it just seems easier to me to go that route. Yeah, shout out to Everyday Tech. I made a video on him closing down his YouTube channel, moving on. It may not be permanent. He may be back, but he basically did a goodbye to everybody. Going to take care of his family. Number one, do his thing as a husband and a father. I just wanted to tell him in that video that, hey man, it takes a real man to do what he did in that video. And if you haven't seen it, go check it out. Everyday Tech. Just awesome integrity and just the humility of being able to go on and make a video like that. Wow, just awesome. So yeah, we're gonna miss him being on YouTube, but hey, the door's always open, and he may be back at some point in time. The other thing, iPulse. Actually, I got an iPulse leather case for my Note 8, so that's a new company I'm working with. I'm sure a lot of you have heard of them. They're a small company, up and coming. So, yeah, actually just sent them a message on Twitter. They responded to a retweet that I did, and I asked them, and they said, sure, yeah. And so now I'm getting cases from them. So it's really nice to be able to work with outside of the companies I'm already working with and the products that I'm getting to review for all of you, to give you heads up on some good accessories and what may be worth your money that you work so hard for. So I think that's about it, man. We talked about the LG V30 release this week. We talked about the Google Pixel event. Let me know what your thoughts are. Let me know if that's the device you ordered. On that video that I made that was pretty quick, a lot of you put your orders in. I know if you're a YouTuber, that's something that you go beyond the point of thinking, shit, you almost have to go that route as a YouTube reviewer. Unless you only have enough finances to cover already a good enough plan that you got in place that's still going to keep everybody's attention, because you do it as a hobby, you do it as fun. Some of it can be work, and creating the content, even that's fun. Even though it's work, it's fun work. It's again, it's a hobby, but in that there's a lot of thought process and planning that goes together and getting that content together. And then of course, you squeeze the finances, then you figure out what you can get and not get, then you present it, and you look at a time period of what you have to work with, what you're going to be able to get. So there's a lot of channels that dabble in low budget devices, then your mid-range, and then there's your channels that dabble into the flagships, or they mix them up. I've been able to do a lot of flagships this year. So whatever it is that you're planning on, if you're a YouTuber, the Google Pixel 2 has to come into your plans, at least in thinking, can you squeeze that in or not? Was that already there? Was it the LG V30 you're trying to squeeze in? But you know that, like for me, I have to see, well, okay, we got October, November, December, we got these devices coming out, I have this much money, what can I work out to achieve to bring in all of them? Or if I can only bring in 3 instead of 4, which one gets knocked out of the circle of smartphones to bring to you here on my Project 13? That's the thought process that as a YouTube reviewer you got to go through, and whether it's flagships, mid-range, or budget devices. So I mean, there's a lot of thought process, and then there's getting it in. There's the accessories you're looking at. There's the content. There's making sure you present the information as best as possible and as honest as possible, as raw as possible. I mean, so much goes into it, and yet keep it a hobby and not so much work. Woo! Yeah. So it's in my thoughts. I'm considering it, and we'll see what I end up doing as far as the Google Pixel 2. But right now, there's just other devices that I have. An LG V30 is coming really soon, and then I'm still considering the iPhone 8 because I've never had an iPhone. And I know some of you may say, well, you should just wait for the 10, and I'm still considering that one. So, but never having one, I think having the 8 might be a good idea in learning to play with an iPhone and use everything that device entails and get me ready for the 10. You know, they were actually both in my plans along with the V30, and I got my Note 8, you know, so, which my son wants that one. He wants to, he wants to buy that one for me. So we'll see. If I end up selling that to him, at least it stays with in the family, and it doesn't go anywhere else. And he's living at home right now until he moves out. I'll be able to use that device in my reviews. You know what I'm saying? So that's the best thing about selling that device to my son. It stays in the house, and I don't have to lose anything out of the reviewing process when it comes to doing the comparisons. And so that'll be awesome. Anyway, I'm out. I got to go in. I got to go do the hustle. And maybe today I'll do an afternoon vlog. I don't know. We'll see what comes to mind. I got a lot of stuff going on. But I appreciate you coming on and checking out the Morning Recap vlog and just listening to anything else I had to talk about. Until then, don't rock the boat where you can. Rocking the boat sometimes is good in life. Yeah, it's kind of a disco morning. All right, everybody. God bless. Peace. To my next video, I'm out. This is my Project 13. You are my Project 13. Please subscribe, share.